She had always believed it was her fault because her inner voice, which was ruthless, called her selfish. That day, she cried alone in her room while she was covering her recent bruises that hurt more than ever, put her head under cold water, and set her mind. She could not stand it anymore. She convinced herself of the necessity of action, so she removed all the makeup from her body and face, and when she was ready, rushed to the police station. This is a complex via embedding and subordination sentence. And we had a monotransitive verb, which is believed, followed by a that noun clause. We have a superordinate, which starts in it was her fault and has a copular verb, was. And then we have a subordinator, because, which is an adverb of reason, that shows the beginning of the subordinate sentence until the word selfish at the end of the sentence. We have also a non-defining relative clause in this subordination, and we can find it because of the commas, and is which was ruthless. After this non-defining relative clause, we have the verb called, which is a complex transitive verb, followed by an direct object and a complement object. Then we had another type of relation of container embedded. The container would be had always believed, and the embedded goes from it was her fault until the end of the sentence in selfish. This is a complex compound via embedding sentence. This is the second sentence that we're analyzing, and we have first a superordinate and subordinate relation. The verb cried is an intransitive verb, and cried alone in her room is the superordinate, while she was covering her recent bruises until more than ever will be the subordinate, while is the subordinator in this case. And we also have here a defining relative clause, which is that hurt more than ever. And this defining relative clause is saying something about the noun bruises. We also have a coordination in this sentence between the verb cry that we have already mentioned, the verb put, and the verb set. Cried is coordinated to the verb put through a comma, and the verb put, which is a transitive verb plus a direct object and a complement locative, is coordinated by the word and coordinator and to the verb set, which is a monotransitive verb. Here we have the case of two simple sentences. In the first one, she could not stand it anymore. The verb stand is a transitive verb followed by a direct object. And in the second one, she convinced herself of the necessity of action. We have the verb convince, which is a ditransitive verb followed by an indirect object and a direct object. This is a complex compound via embedding sentence. We have relation of coordination between the verb removed and the verb rush. The verb removed is a transitive followed by a direct object and a complement of place. And this coordination is done by the coordinator and to the verb rushed, which is an intransitive verb followed by a complement. And we also have here rushed to the police station, working as a superordinate, and the subordinate is when she was ready. This is providing context to the rest of the sentence.